Meantime, President Biden finally addressing the American public about the Chinese spy balloon and the 3 unidentified objects he recently ordered shot down. That speech coming after growing calls from both sides of the aisle for him to address this issue. Chief Washington correspondent Blake Berman is live at the White House. So, Blake, did we actually get any answers?
Yeah, got some, Nichole. It was the first time that we have heard from the commander-in-chief about his decision as to why he decided to shoot down those 3 objects, unknown objects, out of the sky last weekend. The president speaking earlier today over here at the White House. He said the objects were identified due to lessons learned from the Chinese spy balloon, but they are most likely, he said, balloons tied to private companies or other institutions studying weather or conducting scientific research.
I want to be clear. We don't have any evidence that there has been a sudden increase in the number of objects in the sky. We're now just seeing more of them, partially because the steps we've taken to increase our radars, to narrow our radars.
Keep in mind here, it was U.S. fighter jets that were sent to shoot down those objects over the course of 3 consecutive days. The White House was asked earlier this week if it would be an embarrassment if it turned out that those objects were deemed to be weather balloons. This was their defense just the other day to that possibility. Watch.
I don't think the president should be embarrassed, right, by the fact that he took action to make sure that our airspace, civilian airspace, was safe.
Nichole, it's important to note at this point in time, even though these are objects, likely balloons, the president said, weather balloons, scientific research, there's still no company, no individual, no university, no entity, no one who has come forward, at least publicly at this point in time, to say that one of those 3 balloons, or all of them, or some of them, are theirs.
Yeah, so still a lot of unknowns here, Blake. All right, we like to be forward thinking. Yeah. What is the president's plan as we go forward and move ahead?
Yeah, so one of the questions is, what about going forward? Well, the president says he has tasked his national security advisor to look into this, and he's really breaking this down into 4 different areas going forward as to how to potentially take on this issue. He wants to establish a better inventory, the president does, of unmanned objects in space, improve the ability to detect the objects that are in our skies. I said space, I meant skies. He also wants to update the rules for launching and maintaining unmanned objects in our airspace and to set up global norms. Now, the president did say that some of the plans going forward will remain classified as to how to deal with all this, essentially not to lay out the roadmap to adversaries as to how we treat these objects going forward.
All right, so Blake, he laid out kind of a plan to move forward, talked about the 3 objects shot down. Let's go back to the first one, though. What did he say about that Chinese spy balloon?
Yeah, so the president also addressed the Chinese spy balloon. He said the reason that he shot it down was because it was a clear violation of U.S. sovereignty. And the president tried to make the point throughout this roughly 10-minute speech that the lines of communication between the U.S. and China remain open.
I expect to be speaking with President Xi, and I hope we're going to get to the bottom of this. But I make no apologies for taking down that balloon.
Of course, Nichole, some of the criticism has been why the president didn't shoot that balloon down earlier before it was allowed to essentially traverse all across or most of the continental U.S. The president said today that because they knew of its path, they were able to protect sensitive sites along the way.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.